All right, we'll do part three, and part three for celestial positioning, I'm going to throw in or bring in the constellations. This was part of the homework that I had you do with the star chart. I know some people had difficulty getting the star chart on time, delivery issues. I wanted you to look up the rise, the midpoint, and then the set. The midpoint would tell you, depending on the constellation's availability within that window on the chart, what season it was. Some are around all year long. That's a different vibe. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so looking out. Because we don't have the star chart, if you have that assignment, we can fill it in based on this PowerPoint. If you look out at the screen, this is a familiar one, right? This is our Milky Way. Remember I said earlier we're looking into the Orion arm, 30,000+ light years out. Okay. So if we're going to bring in our constellations, before anything, everyone is familiar with astrology. Even before astronomy, astrology finds its home. A lot of astrologers, it's funny, get mad at astronomers because a lot of astronomers get mad at astrologers. They don't like the philosophy of it. Astronomers like the fact of it. They like the science, the data, the physics, the numbers match. But there is a place. I feel, like all things, astronomy started off as astrology. Before there was math and facts to back it up, there was sit down, stare, and come up with a story of the night sky. It's what made it personal. It's what made it available to us. If it started off numeric, it might have been difficult for us to comprehend as a whole. So we have these stories of these creatures, of these mythological beings that have a place in our history. So I definitely don't feel that astrology is laughable. The science of astrology, I'm not a firm believer in the prediction of events. Personal attributes or moods or personalities, I don't really know. I think there is a way to manipulate that where it matches people. I'm not quite sure. I haven't jumped too deep into it, so I don't want to blast it too hard, but I definitely appreciate the place or the role it had in the evolution to astronomy. There were originally, and this was a Babylonian, right? The Babylonians cut the sky up into 12 parts. There were originally 12, but the Earth doesn't spin perfectly. There is a wobble to the Earth. That's our precession. And again, I use that basketball thing. So, or even a top. If you spin it, get a coin. Spin a coin. You have a perfect spin, and then all of a sudden, that spin slows, and there's a wobble to it. Well, as a result of that wobble, we don't have a perfect picture of the night sky. We don't have 12 perfect zodiacs in the elliptical path around the sun. Because of that, there is a bit of a warp to our view, and in that warp, astronomers placed a 13 zodiac. The astrologers don't buy it, but the astronomers, this is an astrological zodiac, and the 13th constellation is Ophiuchus. So now I have, if you look up in the corner of the screen, each screen or each picture has a rise, a midpoint, and a set. So that midpoint is our season, right? So Ophiuchus rises in April. So if you're looking at the eastern horizon around 10 o'clock, that was our time I said to circle on the star chart. Rises in April. It has a midpoint. If you continue to spin counterclockwise, it stops in the middle of that oval around July, and if you continue to spin, Ophiuchus begins to set around October, November. That means if this is July, this is a summer constellation. Matter of fact, Ophiuchus is out now. Ophiuchus, look, the mythology, I asked you to look these things up, and I'm going to give you quick words. I'm not going to go deep into the mythology of them. I'm just going to give you associations. Ophiuchus was a healer. That was his claim to fame, right? He had a staff. He went out into a battlefield. He put that staff on one of a dead snake. He brought the snake back to life. That's the snake that's with him. So he was able to go out at these battles and bring soldiers back to life or to heal the sick. The Ophiuchus, the symbol of it with the staff and the wings and the two snakes, that's the symbol of health. He's our 13th zodiac. Ophiuchus falls between Sagittarius, and Scorpio. So that actually throws those astrological dates off. That's why astrologers get so angry with this, because the predictions are off. This is, they call it the true zodiac, again rubbing their noses in it, but this is the for the astronomers. And if you look down, the dates don't match, right? So my birthday is November 26th. I am, according to astrology, a Sagittarius, but according to astronomy and the true astrological zodiac, I actually believe I am Scorpio. So my what I thought once were the fun, playful characteristics of a centaur, I am now the characteristics of a scorpion. So I don't know. Nonetheless, I'm not asking you to know these dates. I never will, but I do recommend that you know, and I'm going to ask you this for your midterm, that you know the order of the zodiac. And take Ophiuchus out. It's the same zodiac. It's the 12, but I want you to know that Ophiuchus falls between Scorpio and Sagittarius. You got to make up something. All one of those letter mnemonics that help you out. All tall girls can leap very long. Whatever you want to continue to do. So some tall guys, whatever you want to throw in there, to help you remember the order of these. Your zodiac sign is the sign that was out during the day when you were born. A lot of people think that their zodiac, or maybe they don't, but if you ask them, their zodiac is the sign that was out at night. It is not. It is the sign that the sun passed through that day. So the day, again, back to me. Look, my winter constellations are Gemini, Taurus, even fall, Pegasus, things like that. So I'm, again, November 26th. So here I am in November, right? So here's my nighttime sky. So I have to go across to see, right, in the back of us. Here's the sun. So what was the sun passing through when I was born? Opposite me, Sagittarius. So that's my zodiac. My sister was born in June. Right, in June, here's the nighttime where the pointer is. So this is the nighttime, right? Sagittarius is a summer constellation. So my sister is June 6th, whatever her sign, where the sun passes through, her sign is Gemini. Your zodiac sign is where the sun was during the day. These are the originals, right? No, if you look, no Ophiuchus between Scorpio and Sagittarius. Like I said, that is a result of precession. That's that wobble. It's not a perfect spin. Because of precession, Ophiuchus falls in there. Gemini, that was the first one I asked you to look up. Remember, I'm not going to go deep into Castor and Pollux. Those are the twins. They are the brothers. One was mortal, one was immortal. One could live forever. One died a human's life. The deal was that when he died, he wanted to be put up in the nighttime sky, because one brother could live forever, so they both got put up in the sky so they could spend eternity with each other. Castor and Pollux are the twins. So words you got to think of, just twins. And fun things, if you're looking at Gemini, and these are winter constellations. Rises in October, sets in June. October, November, December, January, February is that midpoint, right? If you're counting, counting months, January, February, and then it sets in June, a few months later, come summertime. So the middle of this is a winter constellation. Gemini, one word, twins. In Gemini is the Eskimo Nebula. I just wanted to put a picture of this, compliments, of course, of Hubble. They only call this because it looks like, and again, nebula, right? This is the result of post-supernova. When you're looking at this, you see, what remains of once a star, but it looks like the hood, the parka of an Eskimo's jacket. And again, Castor Pollux, right? Trojan War, mortal Castor, right? Pollux was so burnt out. What are we going to do? They both went up into the sky forever. And look, the mythology is great, but I don't want to go put too much stock in it. But I do want you to know, look, these are beautiful constellations, by the way. Wintertime, you can't miss it. You look at that winter time. If you're January, February, and you're out at 10 o'clock and you look up, I mean, it's Orion, Taurus, Gemini, Canis Major, Sirius. It really is it's a beautiful show. Summer's great too, and we'll talk about summer in a second. And I'm going to ask you to do some phone observing if you have the opportunity, to align yourself, to orientate yourself, and then I want you to see if you can find a few things. Scorpio, June to September. So let's see. June, July, August, not a lot of months. When you come up to a constellation that has a very short window, only a few months, that means that constellation is low in the sky. It doesn't have a big path to it, right? So if you're spinning it on your star chart, it hugs the horizon. It doesn't go up too high. June, July, August. This is a summertime constellation. And again, Scorpio Orion was full of himself. I'm the hunter, I kill all. He was boastful. Scorpio was put up in the nighttime sky to sting Orion. And eventually that, according to myth, that's what killed the great hunter. And there are things you can pull from it, right? The Gemini, the bond of brotherhood, which is great. The bond of family, they want to be together. Orion, just pure vanity, and what led to his downfall was something very, very small. He didn't pay attention to the little things. He was so engaged in the big battles. Leo is a January, February, March, April, May. It sets in August, so if you look at the midpoint between those rise and set months, Leo is a springtime constellation. You can almost imagine a lion, right? You can almost picture its big giant lion head here and its lion's body. You can have it standing. Some people can have it sitting like the Sphinx. It's up to you. But Leo the lion is one of Hercules' 12 labors, right? Hercules couldn't kill Leo. He couldn't choke him, stab him. His pelt was impenetrable, so he finally choked him out, and after he killed him, he peeled his pelt off and he wore it to give him the edge in battle. Now, this one, and this will be our last, and then maybe we'll do one more quick lecture. This is Sagittarius. So if you look at Sagittarius up here, I have it June to October. So again, June, July, August, September. So there's not a lot in Sagittarius, so it's a low horizon constellation. Again, this is a summer constellation, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the centaur, half man, half horse. Some people get it confused with Charon. He was a centaur also, but it was a healer. If you were looking in the book, Sagittarius, just man, horse, an archer. But more important than the archer, and this is one that's not in the book, is Sagittarius is also known as the teapot constellation. So if you look at it here, this is a different mythology. You can even see it, right? Make the comparison. This is tough to picture a centaur and archer in this, right? But I can definitely picture the teapot, right? Connect these two here, right? Connect the spout here. And the rumor or the mythology has it that the Sagittarius was responsible for pouring out the Milky Way, so which is kind of a cool myth in and of itself. So please remember Sagittarius, summer constellation, also known as the teapot constellation. I will stop it here.